Hello and Happy New Year! Welcome to the 2021 Team Honda HRC presentation. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Gunnar Wright. You know, as a longtime race enthusiast who remembers sitting trackside to cheer on Honda legends like Jeremy McGrath, Rick Johnson, Jean-Michel Bale, Jeff Stanton, and more, I'm thrilled to be here as we check in with the riders and crew behind the 2021 Team Honda HRC race program. While team introductions such as this are something we normally like to do in person, we're with the entire industry and world in dealing with the recent challenges of hosting those types of events. But change is okay, and we're embracing that concept today as we go virtual, checking in with riders and team members during recent tests and days in the race shop. Change, you could say, is a major theme for Team Honda HRC this year, and we'll get into those details of that shortly. We're going to switch gears now, though, and dive deeper into the Team Honda HRC program. For that, I'll hand it over to Team Manager Eric Kehoe, a USGP winner and an accomplished motocross racer. I'm sure some of you out there are old enough to remember his famous skyshot finish at Gatorback Gainesville in 1993. I was there. Anyway, Eric transitioned careers to become a leading team manager, and he started his second stint as the head of Team Honda HRC in 2017.
We're really looking forward to the new season. I know that it was definitely a different season in 2020 with empty stadiums. We finished out the whole season there at Salt Lake City with no crowd. And I think the whole team misses that dynamic of the roaring crowd and the excitement of the crowds. So I think Feld is planning on having some limited fans back in the stadium, so we're looking forward to that dynamic being different in 2021. So the team's really excited about the new structure for 2021. With the addition of the 250 program, we have a lot of new talent, young talent joining the team. With the addition of Josh Weissner coming on board as the 250 crew chief, joining Lars Lindstrm as our 450 crew chief. The reason for this new structure is with the Factor Connection team losing their primary sponsorship at the end of 2020, we decided to bring the 250 program in-house to Team Honda HRC. So I think with the addition of their technical staff, 250 side working with our 450 program, it's going to just elevate our whole program to another level. And I think that we're looking forward to contending for each championship, 450 and 250. So the advantages of the new structure with the 250 program joining the 450 team here at Team Honda HRC, I think that it's, we're integrating them into our team to bring one united, stronger team. I think with the new young talent that's coming on board, we will learn from their experience and they can learn from the experience from our 450 program. So I think that ultimately, in the end, it's going to make our whole team stronger, more experienced, and ready to go for the championships. So this preseason was a little bit different. I know, finishing the outdoor MX series so late, and with the addition of a new CRF 450 model coming, we had a lot of testing to do. Our technical staff was very busy. Trey Canard started really early, even during the time when the team was racing the outdoor series. Trey started with some testing and development of the new 450 on Supercross early. So that really helped us, make some headway with the new bike. And our 450 staff was working really hard behind the scenes. And I think this season came really quick. I know that there was a lot of work to get done, integrating the new 250 staff into our program and getting the shop set up. And I think that everything went really smooth, and the guys have been working really hard, so I believe Team Honda HRC is ready for the new season. So Team Honda HRC goals for 2021 is to contend for all three championships, whether it's 450 Supercross, 250 East Supercross, and 250 West Supercross. I think that we've got a very young, very talented staff and rider lineup. I think that we are looking forward to winning races. Our goal is to be on that podium week in and week out consistently so that we can be there to contend for each championship that we're in. I know our new model 450 is riding really well. The testing is going really good. And I know the 250 is not too far different from the championship winning bike that Chase Sexton had last year. So I think that we're sitting in a good place for next year to contend for all championships.
We told you change would be a big talking point going into the 2021 season. And I think some of Eric's updates are a perfect example. Big thanks to him for that closer look at the new team structure. You know, Eric mentioned the crew chiefs. And with the bigger operation for 2021, I know they're going to play a really important role. We're going to start with Lars Lindstrm, who has deep roots in the motocross world and has worked with some of the sport's top riders over the years. Like Eric, Lars is a talented motorcycle rider himself. Anyway, Lars will be looking after the 450 side of the truck this season, and here's what he told us about that program.
My role as 450 crew chief for Team Honda HRC involves overseeing the motorcycles, obviously, and the mechanics working on them, and trying to develop the bike to tailor make it for the riders, and also being sort of a liaison between Japan and dealing with the HRC staff over there. That is probably the best way to describe my position. Yeah, I've been with Honda now for, I started in 2000, and I was, started at the bottom, and I've worked my way up. My previous positions to this, I kind of was a special projects kind of role where I worked on various different, special projects. And this is a little bit more, a little bit more pressure, a little bit more responsibility, which is, what you work towards. And it's definitely, more stress, but it's also more exciting and more rewarding when, the bike comes together like it has this year, especially this year because Japan and our Japanese staff hasn't been able to travel because of COVID restrictions. So we've been a little bit more independent while also relying on them for information and, communicating with them as best as possible. We have a meeting every week with them and try to, give them as much information about what's going on here as we can. And then they give us their opinion on how we should handle it, and we work together, which works out really well. And we have a great staff over there, and a big staff that, they're the designers of the bike, and they are 100%, committed to winning. So it's really, really awesome to have them working with us as well as they do. The goals for this season, I think, are pretty simple. We need to win a championship, and with an experienced rider and incredible talent like Kenny, there's no reason why we can't do that. We were close last year. Our season became interrupted because of COVID, and then it didn't really end the way that it could have if it played out the way that it should. Not to say that we didn't have a chance and we just didn't make it happen, but now bringing on Chase Sexton and seeing the capabilities that he has, not only in winning two back-to-back 250 Supercross championships, but also on the 450 this summer, winning the last round, and the speed that he's got now, I think that we have a great shot at winning races and potentially and hopefully winning a championship. So this year with the new 2021 450, luckily we're starting with a really strong base, and the bike has really good bones, as you can say, and that's been really, we've been really lucky. Japan did a lot of work on developing this bike, and a lot of the requests that Kenny had from the previous model have been implemented into this bike, which is great. It's been a lot easier to work on the bike, developing it, especially with balance and chassis setup, and we haven't really had to do a lot other than suspension tweaks, and as the rider gets faster during his training, he requires more. He asks more of the motorcycle, so just addressing that has been normal. And then, but it has been difficult to, just to get to where we are right now, only because of the restrictions that we got in the world right now with Japan not being able to, the Japanese not being able to be here. And so the shipping and, all the other restrictions that have happened, it's slowed the process down quite a bit for parts and things like that, which has been challenging for the whole team. And we've been really having to hustle to try to get to where we are right now. And luckily we've done it. I think everybody's worked really hard. This year also we've brought on the 250 team, which has been exciting, but it's also been a lot of work for everybody to integrate them into the team and the facility and everything like that. So it's been a challenging off season, and I think it's going to be worth it because I think we have a really good motorcycle.
Thanks for that, Lars, and best of luck this season. We look forward to seeing what you and the 450 riders can do with the all-new CRF 450R. Speaking of 450 riders, it's time to hear from the guys lining up on the start gate. Let's kick things off with Ken Roczen, who's been with Team Honda HRC since 2017 and is now, believe it or not, the team's veteran rider. Ken, of course, comes with no shortage of experience. He hails from Germany. He's the 2011 FIM MX2 World Champion, the 2013 AMA 250 Supercross West Coast Champion, the 2014 and 2016 AMA 450 Motocross Champion, and he finished third in the 2021 AMA 450 Supercross points. Let's click over and hear what Ken had to say.
Griffin's absolutely amazing. It was a crazy experience to see my wife give birth, and he's been nothing short of a good boy. He's sleeping throughout the night for the past few weeks, or actually almost a couple months. Honestly, he's been a really good boy, and I enjoy spending time with him and give me a lot of energy on a daily basis to come out, do my job, and get back there and play around with my family. So it's been an amazing experience. My health is a lot better now. I think it was a necessity to skip the 2020 Pro Motocross season just to kind of get my body back aligned, and there was no point in me going racing, and especially with the way the year has been with COVID. So I decided, and I think it was for the better, to sit that out and get everything back in check. So then we started back up slowly, and I'm in a really good position right now, and I can't wait to finally get back to racing in 2021 Supercross season. I guess you can say I kind of am the team captain a little bit. I've been with the team for 5 years, and also, which is kind of crazy to think about, is that I'm the oldest one on the team, rider-wise at least, and that has never happened. So kind of a cool position to be in, and I've been racing in the 450 class for quite a few years right now, so I think the experience will come in super handy. The new 2021 CRF 450R is nothing short of amazing. We ironed out a lot of kinks that the old bike had, and the new bike is a lot more consistent from dirt to dirt, and I've been feeling really comfortable on it, and most importantly consistent, so I can't wait to put it on the top step here in 2021.
That's great. Ken is clearly very motivated for the new season, and I'm excited. Next up is Kenny's 450 teammate, Chase Sexton, the Illinois native with an impressively smooth riding style and fast-growing resume. For those not as familiar with Chase's background, Chase came up through Factory Connections' Honda Amateur program. Upon turning pro in 2017, he switched to the Factory Connections 250 Pro team. Chase is the 2019 and 2020 AMA Supercross 250 East Coast champion. He switched to the factory team following the 2020 Supercross season. He finished 5th in the AMA Motocross Series, his first time as a 450 rider, which he won the final round. Here's what Chase had to say when we joined him at the Team Honda HRC test track.
So when I was 15 years old, I got signed to Amsoil Honda, which is the Geico Honda amateur team. And then from there on, I kind of just worked my way up. I won a championship at Loretta's, ended up winning the Horizon Award. And then, I actually was hurt for around 6 months, just little injuries, and then finally turned pro in the end of 2017, and from there I kind of just grew as a rider, won two 250 championships in Supercross, and then yeah, here we are on the factory team. Had a really good outdoor season, learned a lot, and excited for Supercross. Definitely winning the last 250 championship in my career was a big thing for me. Was really confident last year. Obviously I was at the top of my class, but going into this year I'm yeah, back at the bottom, I guess you could say, but I feel really good on the bike and had a really solid outdoor season, like I said. So I'm trying to take that momentum into Supercross, and yeah, I feel like I can win races and contend for yeah, race wins and podiums. Definitely racing outdoors last year in the premier class, I think, helped me getting ready for this year, just knowing the riders a little bit more, kind of learning how they race. It's a whole different animal than racing the 250 class. Everyone's super competitive, obviously, like they are in both classes, but I just feel like the outdoors was really good for me to get my feet wet and yeah, just learn the bike and kind of learn how to race the 450. It's like a whole different animal, a lot bigger bike, a lot more power. So yeah, looking to take that experience into Supercross. Kenny and I have been pretty close since I actually moved to Florida in 2017 or 2016. I was still an amateur. We started riding together then and kind of just have grown pretty close from there on. So yeah, Kenny has been a big help, especially the last few years in Supercross has been a big help in just finding lines and whatnot on the track. But this year we're going to be racing each other, so probably going to be a little bit different vibe. But yeah, hopefully we have a really good atmosphere at the truck, and it should be fun.
Good stuff. It's been a lot of fun watching Chase transition to the CRF 450R, and personally, I can't wait to see him line up for the first race of the Supercross series. Okay, so that's the 450 program, and it should be super strong for 2021. Now let's learn about the newest component of Team Honda HRC, which is the 250 program. While Chase is still pretty new to Team Honda HRC, there will be a few team members under the awning who are even newer. As the program absorbs the 250 operation for 2021, and with that comes a list of staff and riders. Leading that charge, and here to talk a little more about the effort, is 250 crew chief Josh Weissner. Josh is a longtime tuner who has worked his way up from a technician role. He comes to Team Honda HRC with experience at the helm of a championship-winning team with factory connection. Here's what Josh had to say about the all-new adventure, the CRF 250R, and more.
The transition has gone well. It was pretty grim in the beginning, if I'm honest. A lot of the FCR guys, we really love that team, and to be there to dismantle it and take it apart and move everything to Honda and you know, get rid of the building, it was pretty hard on a lot of us. But now that we're getting settled in the HRC and rebuilding, it's coming around and we're starting to like it a lot. Yes, me and Lars collaborate pretty frequently. We did in the past as well. At FCR, we took a stronghold onto the wiring and electronics data acquisition portion of the bike. So, you know, we've been there to help Lars along the way and share what we're learning. And obviously with Lars being at HRC, having access to all the resources that HRC has, between the two of us, we're elevating together, and it's really cool. The 250 effort is going to have the same goals that it's always had. We go to win, so that's obviously the goal. We're pretty much a very similar platform to last year, so we know that platform is proven. Chase has won 2 titles on that platform, so you know, taking everything we've learned since 2018 when we got this bike, we are just looking to improve it and hopefully bring home another title. Well, since we won the Supercross title on the bike, we did a full outdoor season, and our head of engine development, Ryan Cox, you know, found a little bit more power throughout the summer, and then continuing on to this off season, he's found yet even more power. So we're hoping, you know, that we can bridge the gap to one of the top teams and, you know, be more competitive. But chassis wise, I truly believe the Honda has one of the best chassis on the track, so that's always been good, and we've just been refining that little by little.
Thanks, Josh. Again, a lot of changes for 2021, which I think makes the start of the season all the more exciting. We're rooting for you and everyone behind Team Honda's HRC 250 program. Of course, much of that falls on the shoulders of the young Lawrence brothers, the Australian duo who have already earned themselves a huge fan base here in the US with their sheer talent and entertaining personalities. One half of that equation is Jett Lawrence, who despite being only 17 years old, comes to Team Honda HRC with racing experience from around the world, as well as an inspiring highlight reel. Jett moved to Europe in 2016, transitioned to the US with Factory Connection in 2019. He's the 2020 Rookie of the Year. He won the final AMA Pro Motocross round, and he'll race in the 250 Supercross East Coast Championship this year, which starts at round 1. Let's click over to Jett's interview now.
Yeah, as you guys know, I originally come from Australia, and we did the full kind of, you would say, Chad Reed type of trip. We went to Europe first for 3 years, spent a few hard years there, and I got an offer from Geico Honda to come to the US, and we definitely took that with both hands and moved over to USA, and we've been here for, this is our third year now in 2021. So yeah, and we got picked up by HRC Honda because of Geico fell. But sad news, but also good for us. Got to be on HRC, so no, definitely a wild trip, and it's all that hard work's definitely starting to pay off. Yeah, it's the crowd when I first went there was awesome, and now that realizing how much of a big thing the crowd is to have while racing is it's crazy. So at Salt Lake it was quiet as you can hear the flaggies talking, so it's going to be good to have the fans back in 2021 to make it fun again on the start line, not be cricket. My goals for 2021 is just to be hopefully just have a really consistent year, be on podium every race weekend, be there for every opportunity of passes and that stuff, and really ride a lot smarter and ride more like a champion, and be smarter with my decisions and make sure I'm always 100% there with any mistakes from other riders, and just make sure I'm in the top.
Very cool. I love Jett's style on the bike. It's going to be fun having Jett on the team this year and watching him build on last year's experience alongside his brother, who's aboard the other Team Honda HRC CRF 250R, and next up in our presentation. An equally entertaining part of the iconic Lawrence duo, Hunter Lawrence is back on track and looking to make a splash with Team Honda HRC. Like Jett, Hunter moved to Europe in 2016 and transitioned to the US with Factory Connection in 2019. 2021 is his third season racing in the AMA, and this year he'll race the 250 Supercross West Coast Championship Series. He's 21 years old. Let's check out Hunter's clip.
Good and bad, because I don't like the kid, but it's good because we push each other every day. We're on the bike, and it always keeps that, rivalry and competitiveness. But it's cool. It's always never a dull moment, so it's cool. Really good. They've welcomed us with open arms, and everyone's been really cool and super nice. So it's awesome. Can't wait to get underway in the full season and travel, in and out each week with them. So looking forward to it. Really good. My health is way better than it was before, even during the season. We went in, done a lot of tests within my body and genetics and DNA, and as deep as that. So we got a lot of things sorted, so I'm looking forward to a bright 2021.
Gotta like those Australian accents. Hey, I love the Aussies. All right, so that's the full lineup of racers for 2021, along with messages from some of the many team members who make it all happen. But there's one additional rider we wanted to bring in, and while he no longer races, this guy plays an important role in Team Honda HRC and bike development. That's right, we're talking Trey Canard, who these days serves as Team Honda's official test rider. We caught up with Trey in between tests. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, just being able to know the people that you're working with is I think a tremendous advantage. And being that I rode for Honda for 10 years, but also Team HRC for a good majority of that. I've got a really good amount of experience with a lot of people that are on the team. A lot of the same people have been there for a long time. So it's really made things really smooth for me when I made this transition. Yeah, for me, it's probably the next best thing to racing is being able to at least have some role in the competitive side of it. I think that's something that really drives us as racers is having that experience of working really hard and then going and putting all that effort out into a race. So for me to be able to still be able to do that at some level has been it's been a huge blessing for me this last few years. Yeah, I'm really excited about the new 21 CRF 450. I mean, kind of from the get-go, it's been a really good experience. Straight away on the Supercross, I would say that we started a little bit later this year compared to previous years, but really, I mean, as smooth as things went, it seemed like it was really pretty close to where the guys needed it, in a few days of testing. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what it does on the racetrack, and I know that Chase and Ken and a lot of other guys that are on it as well have really enjoyed riding it. And I think we're in a better place than we were last year this time. Yeah, when I go to the races, I really just try to offer perspective. It's really difficult, I think, as a racer to have the ability to be able to soak up everything that you need to on a race day. There's just a lot going on. You're at an autograph signing, you're at a track walk, you're talking to this person, you talk to that person, and then you're on the track. So it's difficult to be able to just stop for 5-10 minutes and to be able to try to take in what you need to take in. And so I just try to offer my perspective. I was at that level, and so I can kind of see things and relate to the riders in a way that I think is beneficial. And I enjoy that. I enjoy interacting with them and just trying to help in any way I can. I just want to see our guys do the best that they can possibly do, and where I can help, I will.
I think I speak for everyone when I say it's great to still have you around the team, Trey. You've always been a fan favorite, and for good reason. Well, that about wraps it up here. On behalf of everyone at Team Honda HRC and American Honda, thanks for watching. Now, as a reminder, the first round of the AMA Supercross Series is just a week and a half away on January 16th in Houston, Texas. Now, there's 17 rounds this year, with the final in Salt Lake City, Utah on May 1st. I know I'm going to watch every race live. I hope you will too. To stay up to speed on Team Honda HRC and the other Honda teams, be sure to check out Honda's Instagram page at Honda_Racing_US. We're counting on your support of Team Honda HRC in 2021. Listen, stay safe and ride red.